Staying on the government,
Smooth.
headline for the third story: Fact Focus. Fake image of Pentagon explosion briefly sends jitters through stock market. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see the picture? On
Mm-mm.
So there was a picture of a building with like black smoke coming out of it, and the claim was that it was a building next to the Pentagon had exploded.
I
And
heard I heard that a chocolate factory exploded. I don't know if that's the same one.
but I'm not sure, but there was a building allegedly that had exploded next to the Pentagon. And one of the main reasons that it went viral was because of like certain trusted news outlets on Twitter immediately reported on this, and even posted the picture as well that was going around. Outlets like RT News, and
Mm.
Bloomberg. Bloomberg was another one, and Bloomberg is the key one. Um, but it turned out that the image was AI generated, and the whole thing wasn't real. There was never any
Mm.
explosion
Mm.
um, of the Pentagon, in the Pentagon, near the Pentagon, nothing. Um, and so,
That's insane, bro. You
and it
don't
was
understand how big that is.
exactly, and that's what I'm about to get to. And it was such a huge news. And the reason I say Bloomberg was the key one, because Bloomberg is known for their business news and like stock market news and stuff like this. It was such a huge news that when they tweeted that, the S&P 500 dropped 0.3%. It's not a lot, but it dropped. And then a couple things in the stock market dropped as well,
Mm.
um, because of that news, because people were so fearful of what had happened. So, they sold their stocks and whatnot. And then other investments also moved in ways that typically occur when fear enters the market. The prices for the US Treasury bonds and gold, for example, briefly began to climb, suggesting investors were looking for someplace safer to park their money. So everyone was just like, "All right, we got to invest in Treasury bonds and gold because the Pentagon
Yeah,
just exploded. So we need to be safer with our money."
that's insane. That means like people thought something bad was about to start, so they started protecting their assets.
Yeah.
But that also tells you how the dollar is unprotected, and any second it could just go
That
down the drain.
that's not the takeaway for me here. Well, let me hear what you guys' takeaway from this as well, though. Like hearing that news, how do you
Yeah.
guys
Um,
process that?
First thing I
You go
think
first, Isaac.
about is I think AI played a huge
Mm-hmm.
role in this,
Mm-hmm.
as it is expected.
Mm-hmm.
But also, just like we spoke last week when we said how Congress needs to start regulating these
Mm.
the uses of the AI in public. You can't just, a person, decides to write something and the AI just generates it that easy.
Mm.
But again, this happens all the time where people always try and find ways to manipulate the stock market to make quick cash. Now, if someone, invests £10, it's not a huge profit. But when millions are involved, or billions at this time, your profits are gonna be huge. So I believe,
Huge.
yeah, yeah, no, this is a huge game, bro, and someone will have to be, someone has to answer for this.
I agree. Listen.
I think the obvious thing for me is like AI that people are going to be talking about. AI is dangerous. Oh, we need to put shackles on AI. Let's put it away. Look what it's done.
Mm.
Like look at the outrageous cause. And this could be a precursor for things to come.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I think what a lot of people are going to be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think it's a very good point. That like not to be scared but to be cautious. I don't think we should act in fear, but I think we should act in um uh like we need to be smart about our way, like how we move forward.
Mm.
Because if something like this was able to have an effect on the economy,
Mm.
like and it was just a person
Mm.
or people, organization, whatever it was, who put this out there. They were successful in whatever they wanted to do. Maybe that's what they wanted, maybe it's not. But like, yeah, they've been able to make massive change in the economy. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think we do need to be very careful. Not scared, but it's just kind of like a wake up call. Like, by the way, look at what's just happened. Let's take this seriously.
Listen, guys. Listen to me very, very, very carefully. I I think that this was a proof of concept. I told you from many, many, many episodes ago, episode 2, episode 3, if these big companies wanted to cause chaos, they can cause chaos. And I think that this was a proof of concept. I'll tell you why. So, Chirag Shah, co-director of the Center for Responsibility in AI Systems and Experience at the University of Washington in Seattle, cautioned that spotting fakes won't always be as obvious. Society will need to learn more on crowdsourcing and community vigilance to weed out bad information and arrive at the truth as AI technology improves, he argued. He says this off of the back of the reason that this didn't cause more impact on the market, for example, was because very quickly people were able to see that it was fake, that the image was clearly AI generated. Like certain things about the picture just wasn't correct. I think that this was a proof of concept for when are able to generate better and better images in the future. I think now that these hedge fund people and these market people and these super, super duper rich people are like, oh, we can do this. Look what happened with terrible AI. Imagine what we can do with great AI without even having to physically manipulate the world. Before, they had to actually bomb places in order to create this reaction from the market. Now they just have to type words to create pictures and to manipulate the market. Bro, I think this was a proof of concept. I think this is a conspiracy theory. I think this was done by super duper rich people in the background just to test the waters and see what they can get away with AI.
Man, that's if there is such a thing as the Illuminati. People talk about what's that family?
The Rockefeller.
Rockefeller, yeah. If there's some strings being pulled in the background, and they're doing all this stuff, like they've just been given another tool after everything they've already been doing, if they have been doing anything, or any of these other organizations that's in the background pulling strings. If you believe that any of that is true, man, they've just been given
More, yeah. They just have
just more ammo to do, like they already have control. If you believe that they have control, they are already in control.
Bro, there's the idea of an Illuminati might be fake. That can be a conspiracy. I can agree with that. But the fact that there are rich families controlling the world, that's a fact already, in my opinion. In my opinion, that's a fact.
It's possible.
Bro, like 0.001% controlling the world makes sense to me, bro. Because it doesn't take much to control the world, as we can see here. All it takes is a couple whispers to this leader, a couple whispers to this leader, and then a few bombs in this place and a few bombs that way. Bro, to a trillionaire, what is a nuclear, bro? Like, what's a rocket launcher? It's like me buying chewing gum.
Yeah.
Or not even a chewing gum. It's like me buying a piece of Hubba Hubba from you. Like, that cheap. Like, here's 5p, give me something. Like that, bro. Like, what? Nah, man. I think, yeah. Like I've said before, and I'll continue to say, If these big companies wanted to cause chaos, they can, man. They can, and I think they have. I think this was one of the ways that they've created chaos.
Yeah. No, I think there should be ways where people are shown the same way we're learning in school how to read a book or how to write and how and whatnot. We should also be taught how to recognize the difference between fake news and real news because
I agree.
this is not the first time. This has been going on for so many years. Like even way before um Facebook and TikTok and whatnot.
I agree.
So I think we should be taught from young age to recognize the difference. Now,
This
I
is
agree.
I've, bro, big news
mm,
companies were fooled as well with this picture. It's
Yeah.
insane.
And
yeah.
sorry, just to write,
Well,
just on the piggyback of that, AI is gonna be the scam for our generation. By the way, you know how phone calls are the scams for our parents. AI is gonna be the scams for us when we grow up. Because it's gonna go to you know how we look at like the older people in our society, like, I can't believe you guys fall for that email stuff. I can't believe you guys fall for that, this, that, and the other. The children below us are gonna be like, I can't believe you fall for this AI stuff.
Yeah,
AI is gonna be bro, it's gonna be crazy it's gonna be crazy.
mm, yeah.
I
I was gonna
can
say
see that happening.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree with both with what both of you are saying. Hussein, I agree with you as well. It's like there's yeah, this is going to be one of those things that they talk about, like that, like you know how nowadays people are like, oh, you know, they don't teach me anything useful in school. They don't teach me how to do taxes. They don't
Mm.
teach me how to pay bills. They don't,
Mm.
and then they're going to add on to that. They don't teach me about AI.
Mm.
Like I feel like that's going to be one of those things that's added onto that. I hope not. But it's yeah, man. Like it's oh man. I wonder where we're gonna go and what's gonna happen because this now like the more and more things happen, the more real it feels. Like I'm sure there was a point before where people were like, you know, they heard about people online like talking to kids, and they're like, ah, whatever, you know,
Mm.
they can't actually do anything. And then they found out that people were actually meeting kids outside, and things were happening to these kids, and they're like, man, we need to take this seriously. And there were
Yeah.
campaigns, and there
Yeah.
still are campaigns for that kind of thing, but people are kind of made aware of that now.
Mm.
I'm sure we're going to have something in the future to make parents aware of the dangers of AI, but
Yeah.
also to just make, there's more than just parents, because like with an adult, it's likely that you're not going to fall for these things. Some adults do, you know, there's scams, you know, the Nigerian prince scam and
Yeah. Yeah.
those
Yeah.
kind of things, right? But there's also, you know, things that we can fall for, when it comes to, you know, clicking a link or something, and
Yeah.
you know, or like simple things like that, right? But like this is going to be one of those things where anyone can fall for it,
Yeah.
and we really need to be educated from a like as soon as possible. We need to educate ourselves because this is going to be a thing. We are probably going to fall for something. Someone's going to send us a message. It's going to be like someone we think we know, and then hey,
Scam.
imagine
Yeah.
scammers can contact. Imagine I a scammer contacted you and said, "Hey, I'm Muslim," and they have my picture, and it's a picture. I don't know. It's like
No, I know what you're
and
saying. I know what you're saying.
you know they've read my messages
Very
somehow, so
realistic
they know
somehow.
exactly
Because
how I talk and all of that.
it's not just how you talk, but like, your voice as well. They can, because you've got the voice changes now as well. That's very
Yeah, send a
realistic.
voice message. Yo, bro, how you doing? I hope things are good,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah. Yeah.
stop there in case they start recording this podcast,
No, but
because
yeah,
you know,
100%, 100%. It's certainly a caution and worry, and that's one of the reasons why I like what Twitter is doing as well. For Twitter, it's a lot of things. There's a lot of controversy going around with Twitter right now, especially with under the ownership of Elon Musk. But one of the good things that they've done there is that because Twitter is such a heavy news type social media platform, is when a certain news starts to get traction and trending, there's a little thing that will go underneath it that will say whether or not this news story is false or fact. It's
mm,
like, by the way, this news story is not true, and this is actually
wow.
what happened. And so I like that. I really like that.